Hey guys, welcome to my top 10 list. These for this will be my darkest series on my top 10 list. I will actually do sitcoms, 80s, 90s, The Simpsons, and we'll actually do more and more, and we'll do Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney, and this is the top 10 surprisingly dark sitcom moments. If there is more, that will be honorable mentions. Let's begin. Number 10. Papa Nia, brand new excuse, fresh air, Bel Air. Honestly, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air tackle more, and we will get into this, but honestly, this tackle abandonment issues because, frankly, well, Will's father come into the picture, Lou, and tried to take Will, and Will was happy about that. And honestly, he honestly the lines that Will Smith say that to hell with him was improvised with Will Smith because Will was experiencing his own abandonment issues because well he was abandoned by his father. Anybody that abandoned by his father know how it feels. Anybody knows how it feels to be abandoned by their father. It doesn't feel good. Abandoned by his father or mother or anybody. It feels like somebody just jab a knife into their heart and feels like you have mommy or daddy issues and you need therapy throughout your life. Don't worry, you have friends and family there with you. Just talk to them. It and and don't worry and talk it out. Number 9. Park and Rec. Ron reveals how much Leslie hurt him. Honestly, Ron, I haven't seen Parks and Rec, and Ron show how hurt that he is, reveal how he got hurt, and it's actually honestly, if I it means heartbreaks. It's a bittersweet moment, and anybody that suffer a heartbreak means that it never goes well, and whoever. But it's actually after cleaning up the office afterwards. Listen to Ron's favorite song. Honestly, this is actually it never get. Honestly, Ron always is happy, but after he got hurt by after a reveal how much Leslie hurt him. But if I am wrong, write it down in the comments. I am sorry. I did watch it. I am sorry. When Martin blows up on his kids on Fraser. Um, Martin took his kids to a steakhouse, and when he started making fun of his food and the waitress, he freaks out at them. He told them that they are nothing like their mother, who was classy. It was a very harsh moment. Honestly, to tell you the truth, um, they they were making fun of the food and the waitress, and he freaked out. That what would I do? Because he he was right to freak out at them because because if they make fun of their food and a waitress for that reason and freak out because and told them that they're nothing like their mother who classy, that is harsh because it, he just teaching them manners. They have no manners. They are being so ignorant. He blows up at them because he wants to teach them manners, and they are being like they are just a they acting like they're little kids, but they're grown men. When the dad dies in real life, honestly, John Ritter, the original voice of Clifford, died in real life, and the show decided to kill him off on screen. Honestly, there was several emotional episodes, include a emotional when the family found out that he had suddenly died. Honestly, when this happens, death is inevitable. When the actor dies and somebody actor dies, they address it like like replace the dad, or they kill off the character. Or when the actor fired, they kill him off or replace it. But honestly, John Ritter will never be replaced. He's the actor of Free Company and Clifford the Big Red Dog. And honestly, he will be missed because he's the greatest actor that ever is, because he's a he's a great actor that will prosper. When the girl being beaten by her father at Boys Meet World. When Sean was keeping a girl at his house while his parents were out of town and Corey thought they were sleeping together. Honestly, let me explain. This episode, um, Sean was simply protecting the girl from her dad, who was beyond her. Honestly, honestly, abuse is still to this day, and that there is a camp where this woman, Lisa Gobby, is trying to convince a judge to re-educate these parents, these children, to love a abusive parent. But these parents are not. They are the abusers, and they got a protection order, and they are lifted because the judge think that these camps will help, which they're not. Child abusers are nothing. Anybody that abuses kids are not a are just anybody that abuses kids, even if they're their own parents, should be in jail, rotting for the rest of their lives, even if they abuse their parents too. When the mother get killed off on How I Met Your Mother, honestly, the worst ending of the TV shows. I can agree. The TV show history, the mother was killed off and they pursue Robin, but this is actually the darkest moment. Honestly, why they kill off the mother in this ending? Honestly, I don't know why, but this is dark. Even for a ending, honestly, so dark. We don't know the disease of the mother. We don't know anything about the mother. Why they made the mother die in the first place? This is pointless and irrelevant to How I Met Your Mother. When Alex almost dies, family. In this episode, um, Alex was supposed to be in the car that tragically killed one of his friends. Honestly, car accidents still happen to this day, and Alex break down sobbing, crying, why I'm still alive. This is the darkest moment. Everybody know they have survivor's guilt. Survivor's guilt. If you guys know what that is, survivor's guilt is this. When somebody asked to do something and change their mind for the last second, and an accident occurs and say, wait, they die. They die. If I haven't did it, why is me? Why? Why? That's survivor's guilt. It's supposed to be me. It's survivor's guilt. You think it's me. Survivor's guilt means you believe it's you. You're supposed to believe that you're responsible. it put why I'm alive. Why you really think that you're supposed to be dead? This tragedy. Alex thinking he got survivor's guilt because he supposed to die with his friend, but he didn't. He lucky to be alive, but he got survivor's guilt. This is his when Rosa parents don't accept her being bisexual on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Well, Rosa being tough, a tough character, seeing emotional and vulnerable to her parents, and the big step. Sadly, they didn't accept her sexuality, even stopped talking to her for a while. Honestly, this still happened today. Some people don't accept other people's sexuality, that that change or their realities because they don't accept that that bi, trans, pansexual, or anything. They they just don't like they they love they just don't accept change. People that don't accept change is doomed to repeat the past. Anybody that anybody that don't accept change is doomed to repeat change. Rosa learned to accept for who she is because she take the big step and become vulnerable and emotional and say she's bisexual. Everybody had to accept that some people are when somebody say I'm gay or anything, they really want to come out or say anything about come out of the closet, they do it. But they don't because they're afraid of their friends, family, or relatives because they're transphobic, homophobic, or anything nowadays. But honestly, you want to know the biggest issue? Um, my I'm actually some. I actually love everybody for who they are. I am a Christian. I am straight. I, and I support the LGQ plus. When Monica and Richard break up, friends. Honestly, despite their age gap, Richard is head over heels over Richard and reveal he didn't want any kids. But honestly, they broke up, so they dance. Honestly, this is a emotional breakup, and honestly, they were meant to be. But there are a lot of issues in Friends. There are a lot of serious moments in Friends. I will actually tackle each serious issue in my other series. I will mention serious issues. When Ted is so lonely on How I Met Your Mother. Honestly, the time travel episode said viewers at the bar having a good time, friends, and Copa, everybody move on with their lives without him. Honestly, this is after Ted was left at the altar. Yes, I am not joking. He was left at the altar, and he just he realized he just he he was left at the altar. He just got left at the altar by he got left at the altar, and he never want to be lonely, and he just he feels like he just lost and out of control. When Family Matters tackles some sad racial issues. In this episode, Laura decided to start a petition for Black History. I am not joking. She wanted to add it to the school curriculum. But honestly, there's a horrific note that say go back to Africa. I am not joking. People told her that, put it in her locker, and it just was awful because she was trying to do that because everybody she wants everybody to learn about the, the history of the culture of Black history, and now they just say something that is just not okay. But honestly, why? This is not right. Honestly, in because honestly, racial some schools become everybody some people will become racist, and other people will become racist if wanted. When Phoebe said goodbyes to her babies, honestly, in this, Phoebe actually did, in fact, not only gave birth to three babies of her brothers, she wanted to keep one. This moment is so upsetting because Phoebe wanted to be a mom to one of them, and but this was an easy moment. So Phoebe, look at the baby. If you're going to cry, then cry. Honestly, this moment actually cries because Phoebe just wants to keep one of them, and this moment from Friends actually did make me cry. When Marshall dad dies on How I Met Your Mom, Marshall dad was played by none other than the voice of Patrick. And honestly, this when Lily got pregnant with their first child, and honestly, this was a miracle. He was calling his, but Jason Segel didn't know that. Honestly, he actually did not actually rehearse So it was his natural give a natural reaction because this is actually his natural reaction of delivering bad news because he actually because this is actually his natural reaction because to tell you the truth they actually uh, they actually never told him the script. This was unscripted. um and death is unknowable even though it's in a TV show. When will it face racial profiling with the moment of Black Lives Matter? Honestly, Black Lives Matter still honestly you is actually difficult to watch this, but honestly, Will and Carlton were arrested for driving a stolen car to believe. Well, they didn't stole it. They were driving it, and the police believed it was stolen, and they confiscated the car, and because they were black men, racial profiling. This is still pretty bad in this country. Racial profiling happened in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Not only Brooklyn Nine-Nine, also in Family Matters. And this is honest, honestly the way the racial profiling is still happening all the time. Now, people, not the cops losing free plate patients. Honestly, doctors always, honestly, it always depressing because when doctors actually go through depression, alcohol, and dealing with loss because he actually loses his patients. This is actually tragedy because he was supposed to care for them. When Homer and when Homer is bond briefly with Lisa. Lisa is super smart and hasn't had the bond with her dad. But honestly, when Homer got struck in in his brain, and sadly his moment has briefly has it removed, and he become well dumb once again. Honestly, this is tragedy because everybody like him dumb, and this is actually like everybody like him dumb, and he doesn't like they don't like him smart, so he just a he just don't like being smart, so he sacrifices. When Ellen and describe her verbal sexual harassment experience on one day at a time. Honestly, well, to tell you the truth, what Elena described her verbal sexual assault, sometimes it's not, you don't, well, sexual assault does not have to be physical, it can be verbal. Because this, a man will go too far because they just can go too far because men, people, this is progressive because these two are are are, are good because because her and her girlfriend were verbally abused and they don't want to be because a man just wouldn't leave them alone. This is tragedy because some people keep on doing that to trans kids and call them freaks. And anybody that called them freaks should rot in hell because Jesus say love everybody. Love everybody. Anybody that say hate everybody is the devil and the Pharisees. When Monica and Chandler found out that they are unable to have kids, honestly, infertility issues are not is uncommon because it's not uncommon. Some couples, it's not one partner or both partners can't have any kids, so they decide to adopt. Because after months of trying, Monica and Chandler can't even have any. And this is real life because millions of couples struggle with infertility because honestly, this emotional issue, Monica, played by Courtney Cox, was trying to conceive, and now she figure out in the last parts of her pregnancy with Coco. I am not joking, guys. When Howard moms died on the Big Bang Theory, honestly, the actress that played Howard's mom was going to make a big reveal, and we can see her face. But to tell you the truth, um, she passed away of cancer. So everybody was actually so was it a cause for celebration because honestly this actually just make everything just death is inevitable. It just not it's peacefully not a time pe- a time to mourn people's deaths and move on. And before I move on, please give me a like, comment for more, and subscribe to my channel. And If you like my content, please. When Chidi had to leave, honestly, having to watch Eleanor say goodbye to Chidi was the worst things. Honestly, the good place is actually the good worst things on the TV show. And it feel like a good things. And honestly, this is actually one of the good thing about this TV show. And honestly, this is actually the way the because we see him move on to reincarnation, and this is actually where he move on to the next life. Yes, move on to the next life. When Blackish is discuss Black Lives Matter. Honestly, the Black Lives Matter movement, everybody discuss the protests of the Black Lives Matter movement and terrorists. Honestly, after George Floyd was killed, everybody was was angry because they were so mad. So Blackish, the Johnsons watch all the Black Lives Matter protests, and now they discuss about it, and it tears to my eyes, and this actually discusses it. When Amy told Jake about the sexual harassment experience, this actually, honestly, in the Brooklyn Nine-Nine, tackles the sexual harassment. Honestly, sexual harassment is not common in the workplace. Verbal harassment, sexual harassment is is common in some people, but sexual harassment in workplace is more common in anything. Anybody can do that and feel big and powerful. Anybody that does that is not a man. They're just a mouse. They just want to feel big and powerful. They just they just want to feel big and powerful. Don't want the they just don't want you to feel like you're in control. Women, women, some men, women, m- men, women, men, some women, some men, women and men do get harassed. Not even in work, at schools. Let me explain. Sexual harassment doesn't also occur only in women. Men get harassed too. If anybody knows, sexual harassment does not occur only in women. Men get harassed as well. Anybody that say only women get harassed. No, men get sexually harassed too. They, if anybody, ain't women, there women that sexually harass men who get sexually harassed get blame for it and never get and never speak because sometimes they never come clean because they're too ashamed and want this to go away. They don't want to get a, they don't want to come clean because some people just some people won't some people just don't want anybody to know that they were sexually harassed by other women. If they know that they not only they were sexually harassed, they were when ICE raided Cloud9 on the superstore. Well, Mateo was arrested and and uh, and get deported. Honestly, this move every viewer because honestly, some people know that some people are here on visa. When the visa expires, you have to renew it, and some people are free to renew it or get married. And some people get married to awful people. And some people get married to people that they they wanted to they do fall in love with. And and they start to exploit that and try to make laws to make it illegal for immigrants to get into this country. And they just don't want that. ISIS, ICE just raided Cloud9 and take Mateo and deport him. But this is actually very dark. Debbie is horrible to her mother. Honestly, she told her mother that instead of her father was dying, she wished it was had been her mother. Well, honestly, this honestly never have I been. Davy is 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 actually Stickett is Matt is her mother is her mother is completely the worst character. She won't do let her do what she wants. She want her to get married to an Indian boy, and she wants her to finally just finally get do what she wanted her to do, not what she wanted to do. But Davy stand her ground and say this because, frankly, because her dad is the one that encouraged her to do what she wanted to do, not her mother. Because her mother is the one that gone mental. Because this is dark because everything is okay in the end, but honestly, she this actually changed their relationship, but it never stayed the same after that. When Dudley and Arnold get molested in different strokes. Okay, I'm actually going to say this. Mr. Horton is one of the most darkest moment in the history. Honestly, Mr. Horton is a pedo. And there actually some child predators are call themselves uh, P, P, MAPA. No, you not call yourself that. You are predators. You guys are predators. You guys are not. You are molesters. You are. You don't. You are nothing more than you traumatize those kids. Call yourself that. You're not. You are not. You are predators that prey on kids. Like Mr. Horton, like the guy from Smart Guys, like all those other predators, you guys are no good. Stay away from the kids. I'm against predators. I'm against predators. I am against mole- child molesters. And episode, um, this episode of Different Strokes is the reason why it make if I do see a child and a adult I don't know see a child that I do know, I will call the cops. on them. I will call the cops on him. Because be, because predators are no. No. Next one, when quagmires get abused. Honestly, this is why I hate this episode. Scream is silent. The Brenda Q story. Honestly, Brenda get abused by her boyfriend, and honestly, honestly, it's serious because it usually shows how it keep it light because it's actually abused. It tackled domestic violence from your boyfriend lover. Honestly, this is not right. You should not live with a abusive boyfriend or lover. You should just leave him. It does not matter if you carry his baby. Leave him. If he file a lawsuit to keep take custody, fight fight in court. Do not let him have him or her because because if he let her or him be abused by a abusive father, the the father would just let the father do whatever be a the father. A toxic relationship should never be in the hands of a abuser. An abuser should never abuse. A normal relationship, an abuser should never be abused. A normal relationship, you should never be abused. Leave the relationship. Do not look back. Do not look back. Leave in the middle of the night. Do not look back. Make sure he's fully asleep. Pack a few things. If you have kids, make sure to leave their toys or everything away, and do not tell your family where you're going, because if they knew where your guys are, remove your battery from your phone or destroy your phones and get new cell phones and move to a new state and get everything you need. Then get everything you need and do not and leave your state. Do not look back. When Charles met his father abused him on Full House. Honestly, I talk about abuse. Children of abuse. In this episode, Stephanie was shocked to find out that Charles, her classmate, was abused. Honestly, this is very shocked because some children get abused so much. This is children that have been abused are so much. Like, children should never be abused. When children are abused, they they are really supposed to be. They start to grow up with so much anxiety. They they never they never they never grow up strong until they realize to overcome their fears in therapy. But once they do overcome their fears in therapy, they are who they are. But honestly, this is two childs versus a child and an adult, and this scene is much harder. When Sean joins a cult on Boy Meets World. Honestly, in this, Sean actually ideal of a family, a god, and a loneliness once he joins a cult. Honestly, a cult. This this is actually when somebody is so lonely. Everybody get lonely. Some people get so lonely they join a cult. Some stars families join a cult and they have to run away from their families. Their they have to run away from their families because their their whole families are now cults and they don't want their to talk to their families because they are nothing more than strangers to them now. Now they don't have anything to do with them because honestly, cults ruins people's lives. Every cults they have cults make people make people make make people there's so many cultures of cults and some people some one guy get married to 8 wives and he got away with it and actually he got arrested for it and honestly he got 8 wives and how he got and this emotional scene in Boy Meets World after and Sean actually just got out of it after Mr. Turner ends up in a serious accident. When all the dinosaurs freeze in the finale. Honestly, in this episode, all the all the planet collapses and they all die on the frozen planet. It's so depressing. I am not joking. The planet freezes and dies. It like it like the ending to uh it like the meteorite that slam into the earth, causing the ice age. If yeah, the dinosaurs actually and this global disaster did happen to this prehistoric family, and it ended up killing them. And this finale actually did kill, make them all die. Mom Flanders dies in The Simpsons. Honestly, if you guys watch my top 10 darkest Simpsons episodes, Mom Flanders was right most of the scenes for Ned, because honestly, this is actually very good because Homer is actually very comforting to Ned. Ned curses God. It's very sad and well written because Ned loved Maud, and he actually it got better in the episode, but Ned curses God. This is not like Ned at all. But after he got back to church, he started to date again in a little while, and now he is trying to become Ned. He's he's upset for Maud, but he will start trying. And and that was number two. So this is the last one when Matt dances on It Was Sunny in Philadelphia. Well, Matt is actually come out as gay, so his homophobic father, so he actually dances his heart out. So he come out to his homophobic, and his dance was truly emotional. And tell his emotions for dance, and his father left, but honestly, Danny DeVito's character actually stand and see his dance, and this is actually emotional. Honestly, guys, that is it for my top 10 list. And this is actually the longest list. But honestly, you know why it's so long? I made my one video, Family Guy, the top 10 darkest episodes of Family Guy, got one 100 views. Now, now, thank you guys so much. And if you guys want, give me a give me give me your love and support. And I love you all. I love you guys all. And bec- because you guys are special for who you are. Because no matter who you are special because we are great. And one more thing. God always say this: love thy neighbor, love thy enemy. No matter what, we're supposed to love each other. And when you do, do me a favor. If you guys would, when you view me, please impeach all all the people that put up these bills that are ridiculous. All the Republicans that are making the wrong choices. I can't say anything more. And if you, if they see this, I would like to say this. I take care. Anime screamers out. Peace.